Rightio, well, here she is, everyone. This is the wonderful black square Starship. I suffice it to say, have been very, very excited for this for the very, very for the very, very longest time since they announced this plane like 4 years ago. I've been excited for this thing, and I'm so happy it's finally here. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. There's a lot going on with it, but I think everyone will enjoy it. All right, so as you can see, it's all put to bed still. Um, it's all chalked up and pinned up and so on and so forth. Did someone forget to put the pins in? No, the pins are in still. Good. Yeah, it's so good, Rommel. It's a really, really cool aeroplane. Anyway, so we need to do a couple of things here. We just need to give me one sec. I need to make a coffee first, but just before we do anything like that, we'll just have a brief look at the flight that we're going to do. We're here in the beach factory in Wichita, Kansas, which I believe is where they built these aeroplanes. We're going to take off to the west. We're going to intercept the jet airway to the west. Keep coming up to Goodland VOR. We're going to go to the Falcon VOR, and then we're going to go to the Jeffco VOR, and then land at the airport there. So that'll be very, very nice. I'm very much excited for this. It'll be good. We'll have a brief look at some flight planning stuff because I don't think there's a sim brief profile yet. I don't know if it's something that they're working on, but there isn't quite one yet. But I imagine it would have a fairly similar burn to a King Air. Maybe a 200 or something. But we'll have a look at some of the documentation here. There's probably going to be a little bit of stuff about flight planning, which we kind of want to have a look at here. Let me have a look if there's any performance tables. I haven't done too much here yet with the flight planning stuff in terms of performance, weight and balance and that sort of stuff. I only got this a day or two ago, so I'm just trying to see if I can find some performance entries here. This manual's available to anyone now. It's up on their site. So if you're interested in it, make sure you get reading. Failures. Oh, here we go. Power settings. Cruise power, range power. All right, so that's all good stuff, but we might have a look in the manual here. There's probably going to be some performance charts there. Here we go. Including probably time to climb charts, as well as stuff that will help us out. Here we go. Range profile, cruise power, ISO plus 37, yuck. This flight's probably going to take a bit of time, so please don't expect to go anywhere quickly. I do kind of want to just play around and do stuff as in-depth as possible. But this is the chart that I wanted. There's a couple of things that I wanted to look at here. Since fuel is cheap in the sim, I'm pretty much just going to look at what's going to take the least amount of time in terms of the winds. So what's the best level for our winds, and also what the best level is going to be for our TAS, considering fuel's not really a factor in terms of the price for us. So Oklahoma, Arkansas, where's Kansas? There's Wichita. And we're going up to Denver-esque area. All right, so fortunately the winds are not looking too bad. Flight level 300 is looking fairly good. We'll probably get a little bit of headwind up this way. 240 is looking fairly consistently with headwinds as well. Unfortunately, going west, this is sort of what we're going to be stuck with. But flight level 300 looks fairly reasonable until we get to about here. And then it's about 10 knots more. So let's look at about 24 and just see what happens there. Okay. Time, fuel, distance to cruise climb. It's got the profile here. So the sea level to 10,000 feet, climb speed in knots is 180, 10 to 20 is 160, 20 to 30, 140, and then 130, 30 to 41. So this is going to give us a fairly reasonable guide. It gives us the parameters here for the climb, but it'll also give us the fuel burn and also the other sort of business here. So I'm just going to do a quick little notepad doco, and we're just going to put some of these figures in here. So we got 110 pounds for start taxi takeoff. And before we get into this is page 360. I just want to look at our standard cruise and also see what the temp was like so we can pick the appropriate chart here. Okay, so does this give me temp at altitude? It may not. This will give me temp at the temp at ground level. So 29, that's plus 14. It'll probably not maintain a plus 14 deviation all the way up, but it's a good place to start for us. So ISA plus, let's do plus 20. First thing I'm just going to look at is the TAS column here at max takeoff weight and sort of see where the max amount of TAS is. So it looks to be about 18 to 20. We wanted to sort of go up to 20, I think it was 24 based on what the winds were doing. So that's only a 5 knot TAS loss. So let's call it west is best. Let's do maybe like 22. 22 gives us 317 knots TAS. Flight level 220, 317 knots TAS. At 220 for ISA plus 10. Hello, Tom. Nice to see you. ISA plus 20. Hope you're doing well, Tom. And then it was page 360 for our time to climb charts. So we said 22,000 feet. So what do we got here? Now, is this outside air temperature at the altitude or outside air temperature at airport? Okay, so looks like example is 28C, which is takeoff. And then we can do it at cruise as well. So that's 28 at takeoff. And then we go to... how do we do that? 28C. And then is it that line from... Oh, it has it in kilos as well. That's nice. Let me make a copy of this so I can use it in Paint. This is quite in depth. This is probably outside the scope of showing off the aeroplane, but I figured if anyone's interested in sort of having somewhat of a idea of what to do with the planning stuff, we could all work it out together and then go from there. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. It seems like it's heating up a bit. Hello, Toey. Indeed. Nice to see you. All right, so it was 30 degrees here for memory. Yeah, 28. So it's a little bit warm. 28 degrees. Pressure altitude is Gonna pretty much be sea level here. Thank you, Below Mins. Appreciate it. Thank you for the bits.
Do you know how to tell the difference between a boy ant and a girl ant?
Thank
you.
you.
Put it in water, and if it sinks, it's a girl. But if it floats, it's buoyant.
Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 100 bits. So we're actually at an elevation here of about 1,400 feet. So it's actually going to be a little bit, probably halfway between the 4,000 foot and the sea level lines. So 30 degrees and halfway between the two. That line's going to come across. I do get it. Thank you. Thank you for the 100 bits. I hope you're well. And then we're going to go up to 22. So we need to calculate the temp for that. And it was ISA plus 15. So I think we said plus 15. So 22 times 1.98 is 43. 15 minus 43.56 is negative 28 plus 15. So does that sound right for 220 plus 15? About negative 13. So negative 13, probably about there. To 220, which is there. And then we'll bring that across as well. I think it was the chart I was using. I don't remember. So then we can do... we'll assume probably worst case scenario at max takeoff weight, which will give us a little bit more of a conservative number. So fuel to climb, 80 pounds? I'm not sure that sounds right. What have we got here? Okay, outside air takeoff, outside air temperature at takeoff's 28, outside air temperature at cruise negative 20, pressure altitude's 5,000, cruise altitude 26, initial climb weight's 13,000. So time to climb 15 minus 2. Oh, I see. So it's, yeah, 15 minus 2, which is that one there, is 13. So it's 13 minutes. And then we get 277, which is that fella, minus 54, which is the initial climb weight. So, oh, I see. Okay, so it's going to be closer to, fairly similar to the example here. So it's going to be about 223 pounds, maybe like 230 pounds. So we'll call it 230 pounds initial climb. That sounds all right. And the distance to climb is going to be that figure minus that figure. So we're fairly similar, so we can use the example of 41 minus 7, 41 miles. So it's fairly close. Might even be a little bit more because we're just underneath it. So maybe 50 miles. So that's good for us. We'll call it 50 miles-ish. Okay, so that's that. Next bit. This is all very rough working, so we'll use maximum cruise power today because we can. Maximum cruise power at ISA plus 20. Yeah, napkin maths, pretty much. We'll do it at max takeoff weight, 220 is 317 TAS. So let's have a look at our route distance and see how far we have to go. So it's 400 miles in total, 350 miles once we take into account the climb. So 350 miles at 317 knots TAS is 66 minutes. And we are doing fuel flow total pounds per hour. 892. So let's do 1.1 times 892, which is about 981 pounds. So we'll call it like maybe 1,000. So 1,000 pounds for trip fuel. What are our reserves for IFR in the US? Is it 30 minutes? And I think that's calculated at the cruise power rate for memory. So half of that's about 450. Started out boring. Yeah, I know. 45, all right. So we need 75% of 900. Oops. Let's just call that like 7 something. Yeah. Let's just call that 700. Oh, you're right, Boozy. Like, you know, I'm not sure how much of this stuff will actually be useful, but I did want to be in depth with it when it came to it, so we'll use that for IFR reserve. So, 110, 230, and I'm going to put on a little bit of extra stuff because I know I'm going to be stuffing around on the ground because we need to do the run-up stuff, and I want to do all that properly, so I'm going to just add another little bit of extra fuel. And I'm not considering any alternate fuel either, so I'm just going to add an extra 200 pounds because we can. So what we'll do is add all this up. 110. Let's clear all this out. Oops. Bugger it, I'll just get a new one. Let's do 200 plus 700 plus 1,000. Plus 230 plus 110. So block fuel 2250. This is very, very rough maths as well. I didn't do a very good job of setting up the charts or doing anything like that. But now we've got a somewhat basic idea of what we want to do. We can do a little bit of a jump inside the airplane and then do a little walk around and see what we can see. Now, I don't think we'll run out of fuel. We'll be right. Right, so here's the cockpit. It's very, it's pretty awesome. I'm really excited to fly this thing. It's a lot of fun, and she's a great bird to fly. I need to double check what bus these lights run on. I don't know if it's like a battery hot bus or something. So I usually just like to turn those off. Just in case our battery drains from having those on. This is where all the storage stuff for the gear pins and covers are. This is the cabin. We'll do a little bit of a check here to make sure everything's good. This is where the chocks will go. Quick perusal of all the seats and chairs. Everything's in the upright and locked position. Nothing's going wrong there. Sit in the airplane here. Gear is down. We put these full forward for now. Cut off. Idle. Parking brake is set. Gear is down. Alright, battery on for the time being. 26 volts. We got about 1,500 pounds of fuel, and everything else is looking goodly. So now, actually, did I check the trim there? 000. Hey, thanks for the gift subs, KW Doc. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. So those trims are all set there. And we'll go for a little bit of a walk around and see what we can see. Thank you very much for the gifted subs. All right, so what we had to do was check the trims were in the neutral position, remove the control lock, and all that sort of business. The exterior inspection, from what I read, starts over here and it goes clockwise around the aeroplane, returning to here once we're all done with it. So windshield wipers are looking good. Looks like everything's centered here on the tab and the elevator on the front wing. Static wicks are in good condition. Leading edge is in good condition as well. From what I read, these are called ice deflectors. Basically, they protect the hinges of the control surfaces here from ice and icing up. So 3 of those on the control surface, and then 1 on the surface, and then 1 on the tab, which all look to be in reasonable condition. Gear pins and stuff are here. There's one of them. Oleo compression's good. Landing lights and taxi lights both looking fine. Condition of the wheels are also fine. So we'll get rid of the covers on both sides. It is nice excess. Those are both clear now. Everything's looking fine on that side. Leading edge is good. One thing I didn't check on the other side, which is in the walk around, is the condition of the VGs, but they look fine to me, and I can't quite get my head up there to see it. But VGs are good. Leading edge is looking good. Static wicks are all good on this side as well. Ice deflectors are good, or ice protectors, 3 and then 1 on the control tab. And the wiper's good as well. All access panels and covers are closed. We grabbed the pins. So it looks like just using 1 click spot gets all the pins. So 1 click spot for all the pins and 1 click spot for both the chocks. So that works. Condition of the wheel bay is looking good. Condition of the main bogie here is also looking fine. So I'm not going to do too much of an in-depth walk around. I just want to have a brief look at the outside here and make sure everything's sort of where it needs to be, and then we'll jump into the aeroplane and get going. There go the covers. Hasn't seized up, that's good. I always find the back of the aeroplane looks kind of funny. That's all looking fine as well. So, I would say that we're looking fairly good. Leading edge is looking fine. And in we go. We do need some fuel, I think. So, why don't we grab the payload tab here. And how much fuel did we say we needed? We needed... oops. 2,240 pounds. $2,200, so about 1,100 pounds aside will work for us. Total fuel weight is 2,310 pounds, so I'm going to call that good. I think it'll just probably be me, co-pilot, and 2 folks in the back, so that's fine. CRG's within the aft and forward limits. Nothing's blaring at us there, so I think we're fairly good. I'm just going to check all the pins, covers, chocks and make sure they're stowed. All there. And then the chocks in the back here. It's a lot of fun, this plane. I need to grab a coffee at some point, but I think what we'll do is we'll get some power to the aeroplane and then go from there. Alright. So, just verify external power switches off. So this will be for 2020 and 2024. Let's just have a look outside, make sure we haven't forgotten anything, and close the door up. Locked. That's out, and then we've got 2 green lines, which means we're good. Right, so before we apply power, quick check. There's 3 breaker panels. Those are good. There's an auxiliary one down here, and there's also one on the right as well. They're all looking good. Right. Power to the airplane. Battery. Volts are good. External power is looking good. 28 volts. Let's chuck her on. And select ICAS. And the avionics blower. Marvelous. So, clear that fella out. We've got 3 reversionary panels here. One on the left, one in the center, and then one on the right. Quick check of those. Normal. All of our switches are where they need to be. All looking fine through here for the radios. We'll do the tests in the run-up. Pilot air can go away. Oxygen system is ready, so we'll pull that. No giveaway today, sorry guys. Probably when it comes out. Do all of that. Anti-skids. Okay. That's all looking good for the time being. It's all looking good. All off. Temperature mode will be to manual. High blower for the cockpit and the cabin. And also low temperature for the cockpit and the cabin there. So that should be good. So with the hot weather outside, we do have a 30-minute... I think above 95 Fahrenheit, there's a 30-minute limit on running the avionics on the ground. So we do have all the help that we can get here, but we will need to get going fairly quickly, starting her up and going from there. We do have the GPU going, so the battery shouldn't run out. Okay, rest of the displays. Here they come. Everything's slowly booting up. The AHARS is doing its thing. We've got a self-test. Self-test. I'll put this one into the RMI mode, which is the one that I like. There's red line, minimum control speed. Blue line, single engine best rate of climb. And the you can cycle between the outside air temperature, the ISA temp, the ISA outside air temp. This is the second flight, so this will be the second full flight I've done. APOD. What do we got here? 2998. 2998. Okay, that's looking good. Alright, so one way we can check the pos here is it's saying there's a Navaid IAB 209 for 4.8 miles. So let's see if we can find IAB. Yeah, 1165. Oops. Oops. Which we may not... Actually, we are receiving it. 1165, it's now showing received. And we're all good there. We might not receive it here because I think it's a TACAN only. So we might not receive it, but it is sorting it all out. So we'll call that good. Database is within date. All data's okay. Lovely. Okay. So what we'll do now is we'll go to the plan map here. All of those parameters look good to me. Display, this is the flight planning segment here. And we'll just start chucking in our flight plan. So we're here at KBEC. KBEC. That's okay. Next waypoint will be the Wichita VOR ICT. Oops. It is a modified T9 keyboard, so after ICT it'll then be direct to Rascal. Oops. My brain wants to keep pressing it many times to get it to go between all the letters, but you have to press the appropriate one and then hit the letter key. Okay, so that's that. That's that, Rascal. Yep. After Rascal, it'll then be Kirk. Hey Cyberdammy, welcome. Kirk. And you can see it's slowly building the plan in there. After Kirk, it'll then be the Goodland VOR, so GLD. After GLD, it'll then be Falcon. Hey Technic, thank you. Thanks for dropping in and saying thanks. And then will be Jeff Co-Direct. So actually, excuse me, via the VOR, but I'll just put the airport in. So if you don't like using this, click on the screen. It comes up with keyboard, and then you can just type in this one. Good evening. I hope you're having a nice time. And then you can type it in. There you have it. So that's our flight plan. So that's what we've got here. Total distance. We do have a option for catalogued approaches if we want at the other end, but for our departure out of here, there's no SIDS or stars in this FMS, so if you do want to use it, you have to use the 430 down here. And if you do want to use the 430, you can do that, but for me personally, I'm not going to bother. So I'm just going to set this up for those two and just let it do its thing because I don't want to use it. But I will set it up. So that's our flight plan done. We can go to the... let's do the present position map. Display. Radar control. Next page. Test. And no one in front of us, so we'll just do a little test mode there. Lovely. Okay, so next thing we want to do is, this is currently in VOR steering, so we're going to do nav source FMS1. And we'll figure out how to get out of here, and then we'll start getting the aeroplane all set up. One thing I did miss is the standby indicated here. So turn that on and that'll boot that fella up there. Yeah, we'll talk about that a bit in the cruise, Boozy, but since it's got this, it's still GPS equipped, you just don't have to use it, so... It has the 430, so it would be Golf. And I'll show you how to use that later on in the flight. Okay, that's all fine for us. Trip planning we can do. Estimated pounds per hour. What was our burn? We said 892, I think, on our planning document. Oh, I didn't write it down. I think it was like 890 an hour. Level 220. 240. 998 or something. So we'll call it like £1,000 an hour. Estimated ground speed was about 20 knots on our TAS, so we'll call it about 300 knots. And we'll call that to... let's use the keyboard. KBJC. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong one. KBE. Oops. KBEC. Right. Alright, that's that. What else can we do? Fuel management. Fuel remaining, we had 11. So what's that? 22. Let's do 22. Okay. 4 packs, 170. That all looks fine. 12.8. Look at how hot in the front it is. Yuck. We'll have to get going here. 12.9. 12.8. So fairly close. Okay. 22 on board, 0 used, 4 packs, some cargo. We should be fine. I'll just put this back to the system control. We got a message here, which I assume is probably for the VLF position. Update. Cool. All right. Checklist time. So let's see if I've missed anything here. We do have a checklist. So this is all the engine limitations here. There is checklists in here. We go to normal procedures, pre-flight checks. All right. Park brake is set. Control locks removed. Gear control down. Battery on. Pitch roll rudder trims neutral. Fuel quantity checked. 2,200 pounds on board. Oxygen pressure 1850. Air stairs annunciator is fine. Battery is on because we are using the external power for the time being. But this was all for the walk around stuff that we've done. Air stair door is locked. Before starting engines. Circuit breakers left, right, auxiliary, all in. Outboard and reversionary panels, those ones are set. Seatbelts and shoulder harnesses, I'm good. Parking brakes, set. Audio panel and mic, they are set up. Static source is normal. Oxygen supply system ready, pulled on, we have. Get that fella out of the way. Tested. Ice protection off. Landing gear control down. Anti-skid is anti-skid. Center reversionary panel as required. Standby instruments are on. And we've got this needs to be set to 98. And we're also up to 22. Alright, standby instruments on. Standby bat power on illuminator. That was this one, which I check before. Prop levers idle. Excuse me, power levers idle, and then prop levers full forward. Because we do a start in the idle. Alright, condition levers, fuel cutoff. Bleed air valves off. Temp mode is manual. Battery on. Triple fed bus volts. Above 23, I think, for memory. Center bus volts above 22. Oh, other way around, 22 and 23. ICAS is on. Firewall shutoffs. Push closed. And they'll come up here in a sec. Closed, closed, extinguisher, extinguisher. Standby pumps on. Fuel pressure low enunciators. Fuel pressure low enunciators. Firewall valves push open. And the lights are extinguished. Standby pumps off. Fuel pressure low lights illuminated. Alright, transfer flow. That's this fella here. Transfer flow, illuminator left. Transfer flow right. And close left showing right. Off. I didn't check those low enunciators there, but we'll do it again. Okay. It's really hot here, so we'll have to get going here shortly. I already tested the alternate avionics blower, and it's already running, so I've tested those. On fuel quantity total and aft, we got 16 pounds in the aft tanks, but 2200 in the forwards. Oxygen pressure is checked 1850. 1850. Lights is required, so these are our lights up here. Nav lights. Ding-a-lings in the back. Bar lights. Good. Checklist complete. So, we're fairly reasonable to get going here. We're up to 22, so we'll do 23. How are we going to get out of here? We are going to have a look at what the weather's doing. 090 at 6, runway 1, enter and backtrack, and then we'll depart for 01, or runway 1, make a left turn on course here, towards the Wichita VOR. So what's that going to be? 277 and 1138. 1138. And actually I might just leave that as is, but that's fine for us for now. All right. I think we're fairly reasonable to get going here. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I think we're fairly good to probably start her up and taxi out. I'm probably going to taxi out, probably do a little run up before entering, so I might actually just hold short over here, so if anyone else needs to go, we can, they can do that, so. Happy days. External, let me try that again. Engine starting with the external power. Alright, bat volts. 20 volts minimum. And we need to feather these. ICAS pilot and co-pilot avionics. We need to bring those off here. But we've already connected the GPU to the aeroplane, so we don't need to do that. So Battery is on. We have connected. We've checked the external voltage, and we have turned that on. And now we're good for a start here. So, right engine first. 12% minimum. N1 1000 degrees maximum on the ITT. So, you guys ready for a start? I think we're good to go. Nope. Everyone set? Sorry I've been so bad at reading chat here. I just I don't want to don't want to stuff the showing of this up. We'll get a lot more time together to chat in the cruise. I just want to get up and going here so we can get underway. All right, ignition and engine start. Turning 2. N1. Alright, there's 12% minimum. Fuel on. Light off. I got the sound up as high as possible, Tom, I'm sorry. There's the secondary rise. I can see if I can... maybe I can crank it here a bit. Stand by. Is that any better? Alright, 65, ignition off, or starter off, and condition to run. Okay, let's start the, oops. Am I deaf? Hopefully not. Alright. Don't answer that, alright. Let's start the left here. %12 minimum. I usually let it run a bit more just so we don't spike it too much. Light off. Below 1000 oil pressure. There's the drop. Should get a secondary rise. 55% minimum. Oops, starter off. 65. Run. Alright. Good. Alright, external power switch. We may lose the stuff here. That's alright. Disconnect. Reset and then on. Alright, right gen volts. 28.6, 86% on the load. 28.6 is good. Left gen reset and on. And that's looking better. Gen ties are norm. Left and right gen tie open, message is extinguished. Generator load paralleled within 10%. Paralleled within 10%. Propeller levers full forward. Oops. There they go. Hey Gorilla. Hey Adam. not received. I should change that back, but it should be fine. Fortunately, our flight plan will still be there. Checklist complete. Normal procedures. Engine start. External powers complete before taxi. Pilot and co-pilot avionics are on. Standby indicators on. Bleed air valves selected both. Blowers and temperatures. So blowers and temperatures are good. Cabin temps coming down. Alright. Temp mode selector. I've got it set to manual at the moment because it's hot. So lowest temperature and highest fan setting. Lights is required. Bar lights are on, very important. Nose and taxi lights are on. Lovely. Cabins and furnishings as required, no smoking and seatbelts are good. Instrumentation's all operating. Flap and forward wing is retracted. AHAR's alignment message is extinguished. CDU date, time, date and position we verified already. Radar is standby. Brakes we'll do here shortly. I think we'll do the run-up here, just so we don't block the way for anyone. So we'll do the run-up items here. We're going to do a full run-up, so it might take me a bit of time, but with time, obviously, it'll come quicker. Oops. Before takeoff items full. Okay, fire extinguisher test. Let me do it this way. And we're probably approaching our 30 minutes on the ground here, so we'll have to leave shortly. Fire extinguisher test. Okay. Okay. Fire detector test. Okay. Flap and forward wing monitor test. Left monitor fail. Right monitor fail. Extinguished. Auxiliary battery test. Check ICAS. Standby battery test. Should go test okay. Once it's done its business here. There it is, test okay. Battery monitor test. Charge rate is illuminated and removed. Fuel low warning test. Right fuel low, left fuel low. Extinguished. Stall warning test. We should get a column shaker, the AOA going, and all that sort of business. So watch your knees, nuts, and guts. Oops. Did I click it? There it goes. Alright. Lovely. VMO and MMO test. Are the sounds too loud? Do let me know. Landing gear test. Horn and gear handles illuminated. Annunciator tests. Checked. Nope. And did we see those ones on the screen as well? Those are the display temp tests, so if we don't get out of here soon, we might see those. Bleed air test. Left and right bus fuselage fail and illuminated. Okay. Power as required for 23 psi pneumatic pressure. Alright. Now, I don't remember where the pneumatic display... down here, so 23.23. There's pneumatic pressure there, 23 psi. Bleed air valves off. Left and right bleed off. And then 0 for the off position, confirmed. Oops. De-ice. Who's this? We got a raid from Robbo. Holy Toledo. Hello, Robbo. Welcome, raiders. We're doing a little bit of a pre-release showing off of a aircraft I've been waiting for a very long time. And I was very, very fortunate to get a copy of it to show off on the stream ahead of the release. So I'm very, very excited to be able to show this off to the community. Thank you very much for your awesome raid, and thanks for bringing your folks here. We're sort of doing a little bit of a deep dive here as we go through the some of the tests here. Pneumatic pressure 23 to 25 for both. That's both of them there. And then the pressure test. Check cabin rate of descent. Looks like that's descending. Forward wing manual switch. Forward wing manual switch. This one. Boots inflate. Let me try and see if I can see it. Couldn't quite see the bloody boots inflate out the side there, but I would imagine it's fine. Oh, that was the forward wing one. That's why I didn't see them. So the forward wing boots inflation. Yep, they're inflating. I see them. And then they go back in. There you go. Beautiful. All right. Main wing. Inboard main. Thank you guys so much for dropping in. I'm sorry if this is going to be a little bit on the procedural side. It might just be a little bit busy, but those did go. Thank you so much again for the raid, Robbo. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you had an awesome stream. Alright, DI standby test. Yellow ice message, yep. Standby DA's fail. Standby de-ice. Yeah. De-ice main test. De-ice main test. Yeah. Window ice actuator switches both to standby. Window ice actuator switches are these ones. I think he was doing gray zone, yeah. Engine ice activator switches. Those are these ones. Both to standby. Both to standby, and then engine ice protection both on. Both on. Stall warning heat on. And we're looking at the load meter increase here. So stall warning heat on, load meter increase. Pedostatic heat, load meter increase. Windshield heat to high. Load meter increase. Vent cable heat. Left and right. Load meter increase. Both engine anti-ice messages are illuminated. Engine ice actuator switches both main. Engine ice protection both off. You guys are... Robert does an awesome stream. I love his work. Ground ice detector switch. Ground ice detector switch. Ground ice detector switch to test. Icing message illuminated. Icing message illuminated. Ice protection all off. Oops. All off. Okay, DI sequence switch. DI sequence switch. Which one was that? Boots inflate in sequence. I don't remember what that switch was. I think this is it, sequence switch. These boots should inflate in sequence. I think that one's going. This is why I wanted to put on that extra, wanted to put the extra 200 and something odd pounds of fuel on, just so we could do this. Alright, power levers, idle. Whoops, that's beta. That's idle. Alright, idle. Any ice messages are all extinguished. Pressure altitude 1,000 feet above cruise, so we got 23 in there. 23. Rate knob is at the 10 o'clock position. Manual cabin altitude control is norm. Avionics checked and set. Radar altimeter test. Okay. Radar altimeter test. Checked. Autopilot. Let's put this to heading bug up. Autopilot on. And roll and pitch modes engaged. Heading select. 10 degrees left. Turning right. 10 degrees right. Sorry, 10 degrees left, turning left, 10 degrees right, turning right. And disengage. Alright, pitch trim switch is in fact in normal. Pitch trim exercise yoke stretch. It seems to be working. Sick puppy, thank you for the follow. And let's just double check that is in fact working for us here, which it is. Pitch trim to standby. Dual element switches. These ones here. Are they going? Oh, wait a minute. Standby. They're going. Okay, pitch trim switch back to norm. Oops. Pitch trims to norm. Roll trim switch to norm. Roll trim to norm. Exercise the roll switch. Roll switch is exercised. Rudder trim switch to normal. Rudder trim switch to normal. Rudder trim test switch. Slide to A test. Slide to A test. A test. Rudder trim exercise the knob. Alright. Knob's exercised. Make your jokes. Slide to B test. B test, exercise knob. Knob is exercised. Slide to center test switch to center. Pitch and roll, rudder trim, set for takeoff. So we need to set this fella. So this is, for anyone who's new to flight sims, this is on the very, very heavy side of simulation. With flight sims, you can get in and get out as much as you want. So as much effort and time that you put into it is what you'll get out of it. And this is absolutely not a requirement for these sort of things. Okay, pitch roll, rudder trim set for takeoff. Flap and forward wing. Alright, let's set that. There it goes. Alright, flight controls. Watching these nuts and guts. Alright, that seems good. Alright, power levers, idle, above beta, propeller test switch, hold to low pitch. Propeller test switch, hold to low pitch. And that dropped 200. Release. Hold to overspeed, increase power levers to 1600 RPM. RPM. Release switch. We should get 200 decrease. Release, note increase, power levers idle. Alright. Power levers idle, engine auto ignitions to armed. Left and right ignitions open. Illuminated, power levers. Oops. Wait a minute, I need to leave those on. Both illuminated and then through 17% torque. No, we put extra fuel on. Finesse, this is the Beach Starship by Black Square. And they have extinguished. Power levers to idle. Thank you for the 100 bits there, Commando Solo. Engine auto ignitions to off.
This plane the first day.
Propeller levers, low idle. Excuse me, low RPM. Low RPM, auto feather switch test to hold to test. Okay, set approximately 17% torque. %17 torque. We've got 2 auto feather lights there. Okay, left power lever, retard until prop feathers. There it goes. Meow. There it goes. Alright, there it comes back up. Thank you so much for the bits, everyone. Commando, Bruzy, thank you for the biddies. I really appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Alright, reset 17. Auto feather arm. Manual feathering check. Manual feathering check. Power levers back to idle. Power levers to idle. Propeller levers full forwards. Full forwards. Alright. Before takeoff, items full. Alright, that's the run-up complete. It only took us 3 hours. And those are the final items that we'll do once we get to the runway. So that's the abbreviated, that's the full, and those are the finals. So let's start taxiing out. Brakes released. Forbride, thanks for the follow. We are going to check our fuel just before we depart here. Sorry, that's probably a bit loud on the outside. And I'm sorry if I'm missing anyone in the chat. I just am trying to concentrate and show this thing off the best it can be. How are we doing on the temperatures here? for the avionics bay. Ooh, it's a bit bloody warm, mate. We're gonna get going soon. Alright, so stall warning heats. We'll have a look in the cruise booty. But thank you for asking.
Actually flush the toilet toe.
Oh no. Thank you guys for the hype plane, everyone. Appreciate it.
Exclamation mark Star Wars.
I just got to thank you all so much.
Good evening from non-pilot Edge Maxine.
I think you flicked a switch in front of the power levers. Which one was that? Oh, thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the gift subs. Oh, transfer flow. That's what I did. Thank you. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. UK controller, thank you for the follow. Olma, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it, guys. So we'll probably have all this happen pretty quick, so I just kind of want to get airborne. It's going to be runway heading. We'll make a left turn on course, climb to flight level 220. Here's runway 1. We'll enter and backtrack. And I don't want to overheat all of this stuff, so we might do all of this all on the lineup, and then we'll get going. Maxine, thank you so much for the 47 months. Polar, thank you for the biddies. Polar, thank you for the subs, excuse me. Booty, thank you for the biddies. We're clear left, clear right, and we're going to enter and backtrack. Thank you guys very much.
Happy birthday, Conti.
Thank you. It's not my
Can't
birthday.
believe it's already your
Thank
birthday
you.
again. Conti Grim.
It's not my birthday. So I'm just taxiing mostly without the use of the brakes. I'm using the beta range. So below the idle gate there's a beta range that you can use, which illuminates here on the ICAS. It says beta. It's not my birthday. My birthday's in February. And that allows us to reduce the wear on the brakes here. No, so the beta range is on my sim is not set to unlimited. I've got it just set to the first little bit, because otherwise I'll end up doing what I did in my test flight and accidentally bringing the throttles back too far and ending up in reverse, where I did about 20 knots across the ramp backwards, which was quite embarrassing. So the levels are all okay, you can hear me fine. Thank you guys for the bits and subs, everyone. Appreciate it.
50,
Thank you for the hype plan.
40, 30, 20 feet remaining. Better rotate already.
Alright, round we come. We're gonna line up. And we're going to do this checklist quite quickly, because we don't want to have the pedo and stuff overheating on the ground here. So let's get going. Okay, brakes set. Idle. Alright, let's do this. Stall warnings and pedos. On pedo static on. Engine ice protection not required. Vent and cable heat, excuse me. On bleed air valves, both. Transponder is should be transponding. Actually, I need to do that through here, I think. There we go. Transponder's transponding. Annunciator ICASs. We've got the blower on still, that's fine. External lights. Yep. Okay. Cockpit lights dimmed. Window heats selected low. Auto ignition we'll use. Generator load 6163. Alright. Pitch and roll rudder trims. Booty, thank you for the 5 subs. Thank you. Trims. And what was our trip fuel? It was 1,000. Yeah, we got 2,000 pounds of fuel still, so we're fine. I'm going to call that complete. Before takeoff, final items. Normal procedures. Takeoff. Brakes, hold, takeoff power, 100% torque, 850 ITT, 1700 RPM. Auto feather messages illuminated on the ICAS, and we'll rotate at about 105-ish. Gear and flaps up. All right, let's go. Thank you all so much. Wait. Thank you. Just gonna mute the alerts for the departure here. Sorry, guys.
So Bezos told me I got 4 hours.
Thank you all
left
very
to
much.
save 35% on subs.
Let me just pause them. All right, let's go. Yeah, pitot overheat. There it goes. I expected that, so we'll leave. Okay, we got 2 auto feather lights. See what we get first. Alright, power set. Wait. A little bit hot there. Power set, speed's alive. Let's go. Alright, positive rate, gear up. Bring that power back just a little bit. Getting a bit ambitious. Alright, flaps up. Yaw damper. Lefto turno. Okay, there's 180 knots, which is what we want to climb at. Just going to bring the power back a little bit. But 180 knots is sort of where we want to be for this climb. We're doing 3,000 feet a minute at 180 knots. Alright. Torque temps all looking good. We're going to roll out here. Control wheel steering. I'm just going to use that to match my pitch and my roll for now. And we'll trim for that. Autopilot on. And off we go. Okay, confirm. We are tracking auto leg. FMS1 auto leg. That looks good to me. Let's do it this way. Center heading. And we're sort of at a pitch hold for the time being. We'll let the speed drop off a little bit. And then we'll select the 180 knots climb. Alright. Checklist complete after takeoff. Yaw damper on, climb power 1600 RPM. Back it comes. and 90% torque. Alright, climb power, prop sync, can come on. Prop sync on, capper pressurization is doing something. Okay, lights, lovely. Alright. Looks like we're coming up on 180 now, so 180, 180. IAS. Oi. Okay, let me try something here. I'm just going to re-engage the autopilot. That's alright, we'll just use the pitch mode. Thank you all so much for the hype plane, everyone. I really appreciate it. Sorry, I just had to mute the alerts there while we're getting going.
V1. Rotate.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll do my best to get everything going here in just a sec. I just want to get my stuff underway here.
I got a new stick of deodorant today. The instructions said remove cap and push up bottom. I can barely walk, but when I fart the room smells lovely.
Thank you. Thank you guys for the bits. I appreciate it. Alright, let's get rid of that. And we should be looking fairly good. Okay, nav mode. So it's going to do a little left turn to intercept that course, because we have a little bit of deviation left here. Which might be a little bit close to the nav aid here. So it's going to be quite a bit of an aggressive intercept here. Okay, what have we got? No faults, which is good. Nothing's overheated. But we're on our way up. Marvelous. Alright, so we just need to monitor our vertical speed here. I just need to double check what's going on with the autopilot. I'm not sure why it's not engaging that anything more than a pitch hold. I might just see if I can do a disconnect again. And clear the flight director as well. Oops. I think I stuffed something up here with the way I engaged the autopilot. Alright, there's our through 18,000 feet call. So let's go standard. There we go. Alright. So we're getting a little bit slow here. But that's okay. There we go. Okay. I think I may have done something silly with the... Did I put that back to norm? I think I stopped something up with the vertical mode somehow, but we'll deal with it once we get up to the cruise. It should still do an outcell in the pitch mode, and then we'll be looking fairly reasonable from there. There's one to go. All right, sorry about that, everyone. I just got a little bit busy there for a second, but I chose a particularly longer flight so we could sort of talk some stuff in cruise and have a look at things. But we did have a very we did have a little bit of a long time to get up here, but we did make it. Thank you all for your patience. I hope you did enjoy it. We want this on present position map. I do have the radar off at the moment, but there's radar 1 on. Radar control, wicks and turbulence, test mode is off. Alright, there we go. So we're now in alt mode. It's flashing, which I assume means it's capturing. In theory. I think I stuffed up my autopilot engagement with accidentally with a button push as opposed to using the correct engagement. There's using the engagement paddle down here, and there's also a invisible click spot here, which you can use to engage and disengage the autopilot, and I think I pressed the wrong one and it caused some weird and wonderful issues with things. I can't wait for you to fly it either, Tom. Alright, thank you everyone for your patience. I'm sorry that took so long. I hope you're enjoying it, but I did want to just take the time and take the effort to do things properly and show it off to the best I could. So thank you for your patience. I hope you enjoyed the stream so far, and I'm sorry I missed so much of chat before. But it's I don't think it behooves anyone if I just sort of fly it willy-nilly. I would prefer to show it off the best way possible. What I might do is maybe see if I can do some more hand flying at some point. And let's have a look and see how the cabin avionics temps are going. Or the avionics temps are going. There we go, much better. So that's all looking better. It's cooling off now, which is nice. Ever so slightly. I kind of want to play around with the autopilot just a bit, just to make sure that I've not cooked something here with it. So that's the autopilot disconnected, and in theory I should be able to kill the flight director as well, although it does seem like it's a little bit stuck. I think it's because I pressed a button. That's right, we'll make that work. We might have to do a we might have to hand fly the descent which would not be the end of the world anyway. We do have a cruise checklist, so let's do that. Cruise checklist. Alright. Auto feather off. Oops. Auto feather off. 1600 RPM, 840 ITT or 97 for the climb power. Let's give it a bit more and bring the drop back a bit as well. Alright, lights as required. Actually, we'll leave the bar lights on. Everything else is set as required. Engine displays monitored. And that's the cruise checklist complete. Yeah, no fault codes yet, which is good. There's the radar display. So we're doing... Hey, that's not bad. That's sort of what we planned. That's kind of what we planned. About 300 and... I don't remember what we said on our chart here. 317 knots TAS, and we're doing 316. So that's not awful. I think we've actually done pretty good. So if we go to progress, which is FMS progress, we're estimating an hour and 9 minutes to the destination. I think this is probably a bit quicker, I'd say. We're doing 300 and something odd knots ground speed. 300 knots. Thank you all so much for all your patience. I know it was probably a bit slow to get going and a little bit busy, but I do appreciate everyone's support. Thank you all for the biddies before. Thank you for the hype plane. Thank you all so much for all your generosity throughout the stream and your patience. Hello, Mr. Owls. How's it going? Let's tidy this up a bit. RNAV waypoints. So we've got RNAV stuff in here. There's Kirk. Kirk is an RNAV fix. We just passed Rascal. You just have to enter them manually. These are all along the IFR airway. How is this thing? It's awesome. I absolutely love this thing. It is just awesome. I did stuff up the autopilot engagement here, unfortunately, so I think that's why it's flashing at me. I think it flashes when it's in the capture mode, but I think since I accidentally used a binding that I had set up for something else, it may have somehow stuffed up the autopilot. No, it definitely will. It's just I stuffed up the autopilot engagement, I think. So it'll do a bunch of stuff. It'll do VS, it'll do IAS. I like to descend in IAS, so you get to your fast cruise speed or whatever it is, whatever you're at, and then you can pre-select an altitude, and then you can just select the IAS mode and bring the power levers back, and it'll gently drop the nose and just go and head on down. So it's very capable. Yeah, so what you would do is let me just bug another altitude here. Like 200. Let's see if I can get it to do it. No, I think I cooked something, unfortunately. But what you would do is you'd select IAS, And if you wanted the fast slow, you could press that twice and it would center on your current one. So 222 would give you fast slow for bugged speed, and then you could just press IAS with another altitude bugged, and then bring the throttles back, or the power levers back. And since it's gonna pitch to maintain that speed with the drop in power setting, it'll drop the nose to maintain 200 knots, or 222 knots. We'll do it again tomorrow. Wheelchair, it's definitely quite involved. It's the same principles as any other aeroplane. In theory, you know, you've still got your primary scan for, your primary scan for things, especially if you're flying IFR. It's all the same primary scan. Things are just in a little bit of a different spot. And some things are a little bit different as well. We're gonna do a lot of streams of this week, so hopefully the procedures will take a little bit quicker, or get a little bit quicker throughout the week. But we'll be doing lots of stuff. Lots of stuff with it, lots of procedural stuff, lots of hopefully interesting stuff. I think I pressed Z accidentally out of habit as opposed to engaging the autopilot here. I wonder if we can do it. I wonder if we can somehow do a ha 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 ha. Oh, it's sort of throwing my... Aha. I think I fixed it. I just had to do a little autopilot transfer. Maybe. Okay, what if I transfer it back over now? No, I think I broke it. That was my bad. Nudis, hello. Griggsy, hello. Busy, hello. I really do apologize again to everyone for being a little bit focused before. I didn't want to stuff this flight up, so I wasn't very observant of chat before. I was thinking there might be a shutoff somewhere. Actually, that's a good point. Let's try something here before we get too excited. There might be a breaker for it, which may work. Fuel, engines, controls, flaps, environmental. Nope. Here we go. Avionics, FCS, I assume is flight controls. Avionics blower, we need that. Furnishings, annunciators, avionics master, autopilot and flap. Morning, Oz Gorilla. So what do we got? Autopilot and flap. That's alright. We're good. We might even be able to squeeze out a little bit more, actually. 850, I believe, was our limit. 840, excuse me. 840. So this will be out on the 19th, Grigsy. This will come out on the 19th. Oops. Yeah. ITT and torque. Bring the prop back a little bit. Yeah, so let me look at that chart again. I'll show you what the planning was. I think I was looking at the wrong chart then as well. So I looked at, since fuel flow wasn't really an issue for us because virtual fuel is free, I was just looking for the best TAS. And looking at this chart in ISA plus 20, which is what we sort of estimated it to be, actually I wonder. Yeah, I think we said it was going to be negative 15 and it's showing negative 17, so I think that's fairly... I think that's right. So what I was looking for was, since fuel wasn't really an issue, in terms of how much we can take and how much it costs, I was just looking at what the best TAS was, and there's 3 levels here for best TAS, 16, 18, 20, we're all 319 knots TAS. And then since the wind was sort of crap lower when we looked before, like it was more of a headwind component, I thought, it might be worth if we go up a couple of levels to where we get 2 knots less TAS, but the wind component was better. And that also gives us a lower fuel burn. So that was the idea. Whether or not that ends up working for us, I don't know. But I think it seemed to work pretty good. So yeah, there she is. There's our flight plan. One thing I do want to do is set up the Jeffco VOR, which is going to be 1154. So we'll do that through here. 1154. And then prior to that is Falcon 1163. And then we're outbound for almost at good land, so we'll do 1151. So what we can now do is, instead of throwing those in all the time, was 1154 the last one? Yeah, it was. So from the bottom going upwards, that's the way my brain works. I'm like, that'll be the first one we go to, that'll be the second one, that'll be the third one. Since we got 3 VORs to go to, we can just go chuck that up there, and that's our next one. And then the one after that, not picking up the right one yet, but there's all the presets there, so we can just quickly chuck them up. And then once we get to Jeffco at the other end, just throw that one in, and that'll be it. They're all in your sector. These ones up here. Oh, these ones up here. Very nice. So if that makes any sort of sense there. And that's for nav 2, so I've got that on VOR 2 with the pointer and the DME there. So we're about 120 miles to good land. Does that sound about right? This leg's 173 miles. We're about a third of the way through. Yeah. And we could also probably position check based on the from position as well here, if it offers one. Maybe it doesn't offer one. You're keeping up? Nice. That's awesome. One thing we can do is we can have a look at our... So, I think you could probably put a SimBrief profile together, but I'm not sure what the community's doing. I've never done it before. So this is how you control the sensors, right? So VOR DME updating's on. I've turned off the Omega and VLF updating, but GNSS and WAS is on. So it's taking, I think it's doing a GPS position from 13 satellites. So this WAS thing was not what do you call it? Not a, I think it was an aftermarket add-on. I don't think it shipped from factory with the GPS. Sorry, with the GNSS add-on to it. So I think it just came without that, and it was VOR, DME, and VLF Omega only. And then they also added the 430 as well. Oops. There we go. And there you have it. Is that too loud? Do let me know. We're absolutely cooking along. It is too loud, alright. Turn it down. Is that better? So that's the reason why we're so low is the winds were pretty nasty up higher, and not much of a TAS difference. Oh, I've got so many bloody windows open. Give me a sec. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. So my sort of plan that I put together there was very, very, very rough. Very, very, very rough. But it seemed to work okay. The real trick will be whether or not, or how much we land with fuel-wise. Oh, I want to see if I cooked the engines at all. Ah, condition's still good. Battery's good. All happy days. Marvelous. Oh. Ah. Well, the thing is, Booze, is I don't know whether or not that was the correct way of doing it, but it just seemed like the most logical way to do it. You know, and the way that I did it is not always the best way to do it, because sometimes you don't want the best TAS, right? Sometimes you'll want to get the ideal fuel burn for a long range cruise or something. So there's different options. This is for recommended cruise power, but there'll also be one for probably endurance flying. Maximum range, here you go. Maximum range, and then maybe one for endurance as well. So we were ISA plus 20, right? Let's have a look and see how different it is on maximum range power at 22. Look at that, that's a 70 knot TAS difference. And also half the fuel. And I think I actually used the wrong chart because this is... I think I must have used the wrong chart. Because those are for different weights, I just realized. But like all the info's there, you can go through it and see what you can see from it. I would like to figure out how to do this properly. I think I ballsed up this calculation here. I think I stuffed up the drawing of this line. And I think I also calculated it for max weight, which was probably not the best. Anyway, thank you all for coming. I'm sorry that it was a little bit slow to begin with, but and it took a bit of a long time to get going, but I really quite enjoyed it, and the more we fly it, the more that we'll get quicker and better at it. It'll just take a little bit of time to do it. And I feel bad that poor Robbo came and raided us right in the middle of me just being inundated by all the checks and stuff like that. Thank you for everyone who came from Robbo stream, if anyone's still here. But my brain was just it was cooking. It was absolutely cooking. So, oops. Actually, we'll use the HSI mode, that works. So we do have it in the, oops. We do have it in the auto leg mode, so it will sequence automatically between these waypoints. Hello, Big Rig. It will sequence automatically, so if it was in the manual leg mode, it wouldn't sequence to the next leg, and then select course will be similar to an OBS mode, where you could actually select a course off the position and off the fix. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of stuff going on here, and there's quite a bit of stuff that you got to do. You've given up on the cookies? Fair enough. Okay, let's put this back to auto mode. Boozy, thank you for the gift sub. Thank you all for the hype plane before. I'm so sorry that I was a bit distracted with it all. I just wanted to get things going and get things underway. But I am very, very thankful for everyone's support. Oh, nice one. That's awesome. Rightio, so We do have a couple of minutes to sort of chill out here. Maybe we'll have a look at how we're going to get into this airport. Wind is 180 at 6, 10 miles, scattered at 13, broken at 16, 32 Celsius, so it's going to be pretty hot. 30.05 on the altimeter. We do have an ILS, I think. Yeah. We do have an ILS for 30, right, which has some RNAV transitions to join from. But there is also a VOR DME that would probably be more our speed. Hello, Chunky. No, I won't be there, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I won't make it this year. I will unfortunately not make it. I didn't do anything to set up the HF either. But it's there. There's a click spot here to get rid of the thingos if you want them. Oh, we got a little bit of a we got a little bit of a mismatch here. That's probably when I accidentally... maybe when I accidentally had the transfer open on the ground. Oh, no, that's going to transfer that way. I want to transfer this way. Got fuel transfer right. Who's this? Oh, we got a raid from Kip. Hello, Kip. Hello, welcome raiders. We're just cruising along here, having a little bit of a flight. Thank you so much for bringing your folks here. I stuffed up the bloody autopilot engagement, and I think that's why it's playing silly buggers on me, unfortunately. Let's see if we're picking up our next VOR yet. Falcon, we have the ident for it. Oh, how's your stream? Stone Delicious Citrus IPA, very nice. Maybe you had a good stream. We're picking up the ident for it, but no DME yet. Yeah, it should be nice. It should be very, very pleasant, actually. So we got a couple of markings on the indicator here. This is for the gear. That's for the forward wing and flaps. So 200 and 180 are the placarded speeds up here for VLO and VFE. So nice little tips there if you need them. The gear is very useful to be able to drop out and slow down with, should you need it. Yeah, it should be a nice approach. We'll be there shortly, I think. Hopefully the sim update 3 stuff is working alright. This is just the normal sim update. This is not the beta. But we got 200 miles to run, so 40 minutes. We'll probably start a descent in about 20. So what we could do is do this. What happens if we say wanted to go direct to the airfield? We could do that. There's a direct button down here. Direct the airport. Done. Done deal. And what's this button do? We've got approaches. Imagine that. So if we wanted to, we could actually put the approach in and it should populate it in the plan map here. Or it should populate it in the plan. So if, say, we wanted to do the ILS 30 right, which we could. Where can we do it from? I guess rocks or vectors to final. I think those threw me on direct to somewhere. So that threw me on direct to ball. But I think we'll plan for the ILS via a vector, or at least use it as a. I think we'll use it maybe as a little bit of a 1117. I think we'll use it as a little bit of a prompt for a visual approach. 1117 and 295. Hey Kippy, thanks for the 10 for the 10 subs. That's very generous of you. Didn't have to do that. Thank you very much. I know this flight's a little bit long, I'm sorry folks, but I thought it might be beneficial that we have a little bit of a longer cruise, just so we can sort of sit for a bit and try and figure out what we're going to do before we do it. So, hope you guys don't mind it. A big old 10-pack going to Supra, Yeo, MTO, Tyler's, Mark Crit, SBvel, Electrox, and Rude. Have we done a tour of the cabin? I haven't. This is the cabin. Alex, hello. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus a lav seat. I think this transforms into a lav seat. And there's alright, Freddy, take care. Hey Gretzky, this is the beach Starship from Black Square, which is not released yet. This will be out on the 19th of June. There unfortunately isn't one on FSE. That's Mr. Rutan's signature there. As the designer of the aeroplane. And there's a little dedication plaque to him as well down here. The bar, I believe, is... I think it's in here. I'm not sure. To be honest, I haven't looked at the... I haven't really looked at the bar, to be honest. I've been so busy up the front here, trying to do flying stuff, you know, in the flight sim. I haven't really looked at much else. Yeah, this plane I've been looking forward to since they announced it 4 years ago. Oh, probably even more than that. Probably more than 4 years ago, and to see it so close, and they posted a video about it, I moved heaven and earth to email as many people as I could to see if I could get a chance to show it off. And I hope I haven't embarrassed myself too much today, but I think we've done a fairly reasonable job of getting it going and underway. Except for my idiot thing of engaging the autopilot wrong, which is why it's sort of acting out. But that was my fault. Oh, maybe... Hang on, maybe something failed. Apparently there is an active failure. Oh, the taxi lights! Whoops. Oh, we won't fix that. But the taxi lights are cooked. Probably did burn out, actually. Hello, Bandslam. I could probably give it a little bit more juice, actually.
I got him.
Automator, thank you for the 32 months and a tier 2. That's very generous of you. Thank you very much. They have called, yes. They most certainly have. Alright, let's do this. We're not going to do the ILS. We will use it as a bit of a visual guidance if the weather's still good. Scattered at 13, broken at 16, that's fine. About 6 knots of tailwind, maybe less. That's fine. If we're using the MDA from it, it's not going to bother with it. But this is where you'd set the MDA or DH. DH on the left and then MDA on the right there. Oops. Oh. Guess who forgot about the fuel transfer? This guy. That's embarrassing. That would have gone very, very, very poorly if I didn't remember that. But we'll keep an eye on that and we'll come back in a second or two. Alright, I'm going to quickly just step away for 30 seconds. I'll leave you with a... maybe a little view out the side here. Do you know what? Maybe one of these views. That way you guys can tell me if anything goes wrong when I get back. Alright, I'll be back in just a sec.
Velocity 362, 9 miles to touchdown, contact the tower under 05.
Maybe it wasn't a dream.
Hello. Sounder, thank you for the, Oh, I missed a raid. Hello, Uncle Melvin. Thank you for the raid. Sim Tribe, thank you for the follow. Sounder, thank you for the 16 months. Angry Cassowary. I believe in the original aeroplane from factory, this page is inactive. And it just says not available for memory. But in the sim version, I believe they have given you a option to use it if you want. Should you feel like that you want to. Let's have a look. Oh, those are all checklist items. That's the wrong bloody manual. Excuse me. That's the wrong manual. This is the manual we wanted. Oh, me too. It's awesome. Even whilst I'm flying it, I'm so excited to fly it again. Oh, excuse me. No, it's going to be, oh, wait a minute, let me look for the VNav page here. Yeah, the Dukes are awesome. I highly recommend them. As well. I'll be flying this every stream this week until the release, Uncle Melvin. This is going to get so much stream time leading up to the release and after the release as well. So fear not, my friend. I believe in the real thing. It just said. Oh, sorry, I missed your sarcasm. It's been a bit of a busy day. You know, like it's a very, very busy cockpit, this one. You know, and even though it's sort of still my my type of thing, even though it's still my type of thing, right? This really, really is something that requires my concentration. So let's put that something like that. All right, so let's do some descent calcs. So we are at 22. And we need to lose... what's that? 7. So 22 minus 7 is 15 to lose, times 3 is 45. Plus the... it's about a 10-mile final, so call it plus 10. And then add a little bit to that. So we'll call it maybe 60 miles. Maybe even a little bit more. So maybe 60 miles prior to ball. We'll start a descent. So it's currently 120 miles, so another 60. Ground speed's picked up a little bit. We're doing about 5 miles a minute. So not bad. Oh, I was so busy, Uncle Melvin. My brain was trying to keep up with everything. But we're going to do some more streams of this through the coming week. And I look very much forward to showing it off to everyone again. Preferably with a little bit less of the hustle and bustle that we had today, but This should be kind of pretty as we arrive into the Denver area here. Oh, thank you, Uncle Melvin. Thank you. Thank you. So it's 22 minutes to ball here. And we'll hand flat from top of descent, I think. If that works for everyone. And actually, we don't need to add that extra 10 miles because it's direct to the fix. Oh, I forgot about the fuel transfer again. I'm just going to leave it off. I think auto ignition would be a... probably should have come off already, no? Let's have a look. Alright, see you later, One Journey. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you, Shoes. I really had to fight for it. But, you know, it was good. That's normal landing. Did we miss it on the climb? Actually, it might have been on the final items here. So what was it? Ice protection as required. Engine auto ignition as required. So I should have turned it off about probably an hour and a bit ago. So I would have probably used it throughout takeoff and landing, as well as you know, pre-sip and anything else like that. So that's probably should have come off about an hour and a bit ago. Gonna get a little bit of a weather return out there. I'm curious as to what it would be. Is it just forcing the igniters to run? Let's have a look what the POH says. I imagine it's just perhaps forcing the igniters to run. Oh, here we go. Vertical nav 3142. So for anyone who was curious about the VNav and the real thing, this is non-functional. But it has been added to this particular model in the sim, so you can use it if you want. These are all the switches and panels. Here we go. Flight controls. Engines. Auto ignition 330. Alright, auto ignition. The auto ignition system, controlled by two switches located on the center pedestal, provides automatic ignition to prevent engine loss during due to a combustion failure. The system is provided to ensure ignition during turbulence and penetration of icing or precipitation. Provides automatic ignition of the engines. Alright, Jeffco was the last one, I think, for us. BJC, 100 miles away, sounds good. So we'll probably start a descent at about 40 miles. So less than 10 minutes, and we'll be on the way down. Thank you for the kind words, Shusy. Appreciate it. It's still pretty bloody bright out. It's what, almost 8 PM I think, locally. Yeah, almost 8. So I think this will be quite pretty as we come in over Denver and into our airport. I think I forgot to start the tracker, but that's alright. Thank you all for your patience. I do want to check our fuel. Oh. It's running the engines a bit hot there. That's probably damaged them. Let's have a look. Let's bring it back a bit. Yeah, I flew it around yesterday, and it was lovely. The one thing that you need to do is, after takeoff, is take it out of the takeoff roll trim position. Because if you take off and sort of let go of the stick, it'll start rolling pretty far to the left because of where the position is of the position is of it. I didn't save that document. Oh yeah, I did. So we started with 2250 pounds. In theory, we should arrive with the 700 pounds of IFR reserve, right? Because I didn't do anything else in terms of alternate fuel or anything like that. But we did about 700 pounds, so that was a ballpark figure as well. So what have we got? 550 plus 570. So we got 1120. So in theory, we should burn 420 pounds of fuel by the time we arrive, if any of the very, very, very brief and poorly flight planning stuff was accurate. But I really enjoyed doing the flight planning from the tables and stuff. I thought that was a lot of fun and a cool way to do it. Yeah, this is only my second flight, full flight from A to B, not including starting up, taxiing around, flying around and sort of just testing it out. This is my second full flight in it, so and that was the first time doing the flight planning for it as well. In the past, I've just sort of gone, oh, it'll work, and you just chuck a little bit of fuel in. Well, it's got 2 turboprops on the back, and it's burning about 1,000 pounds of fuel an hour. I don't know what jet fuel costs in the US. I don't know what that's going to be in liters or gallons. Because the volume would change. AI reckons it costs 1,260. So it reckons it's 150 odd gallons. So 150 times 5.58. So what's that? 837 US dollars in just cruise fuel per hour. Which is actually, when you think about it, probably not all that much, right? And that will give you, what, 300 miles an hour? Taz. So what was the, did I say 800 something? 832? 2.7 bucks a mile. $2.70 a mile. I think that sounds about right. Speaking of which, how far out are we? 60 miles? I reckon it might be time for a little descent action. So, do we have a procedure for that? Cruise has been completed. Descent. Pressurization, 500 feet above the landing. Alright. What was the landing field elevation? Did anyone see? I've already forgotten. Hello, auto brake. 5, 6, so 6-1. We're doing good. Thank you. 6-1, rate knob as desired, standby altimeter. I didn't see what the QNH, the altimeter setting was, I'm sorry. 3005. 3005. No smoking, seatbelts are on, power is required, lights is required, and that's the descent's complete. Next approach, I would imagine. Descent and before landing. Autopilot away. And let's descend. I think we said 7.5, right? So yeah, I definitely broke something because I can't ixnay the flight director. So I think I stuffed up by using the wrong thing. Thanks for the follow, Angry Cassowary. So that's alright, we'll just do it this way. Ground speed is 300, so about 1500 feet a minute should be reasonable for our descent here. And we're just sort of gonna cruise down. Since we're still pretty far out, I might just not do terribly aggressive a descent, but just trying to engage and disengage the autopilot just to make sure. But we'll hand fly it all the way in just because we can. Just keeping an eye on everything here. There she is, all trimmed out. Mr. Darren, thanks for follow. Welcome on in. Mild beta? I wouldn't. These are pretty cool, aren't they? You have to go backwards. Well, when I was testing yesterday, I accidentally put the levers into reverse, and I ended up flying backwards across the ramp at about 30 knots, which was quite embarrassing. I did a little VATSIM flight yesterday to test it all out, and you get a 430, that's all you need. Use this, matey. You're all set. A little bit aggressive on the descent here, mate. We'll just stop that. 3008 through 18. 35 miles to run. I just realized that we've been looking at the sun the entire time, guys. I'm sorry about that. It's probably not all that pleasant to look at. This has been a very, very pleasant cross-country exercise. I've really quite enjoyed it. Alright, so we're doing about 1,500 feet a minute. Ground speed is 321, so 16 is half of that. So about 1,600 feet a minute should give us 3 degrees. We're 16.5 for 7.5, that's 9 to lose. 3 9.5s is 28.5, call it 29. And we're at 29, so profile's looking good, I think. Just keep it coming down. We will have to decelerate at some point, but we shouldn't have too much of an issue with that. Once we get a bit closer, we're just going to use the ILS to set up for a visual approach. The weather's looking fairly nice, and I think it'll be good to. Yep, crossfill's available in the TDS. It is. There's Denver for anyone who's interested. Denver International. I think Mugby's out there somewhere. But there's Denver. We're going to BJC. Jeffco. Rocky Mountain Metro. Yeah, I forgot to run the robot, Mr. Mark Crit, while I was so busy trying to keep the get the plane going. I forgot to run the robot. Okay, quick profile check. We're 14 for 7s. Okay, we might. That's what, 7 to lose, 3 7s, 21. We're at 20. So yeah, we're doing okay. We might need to slow down a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure, Street. You just slept for 4 hours, Fighty. Oof. You're still on your way home. You poor bloke. Hope you had a good rest. Yeah, I don't know where it went wrong, Street. It is a handful. It is a very, very, very busy cockpit. Yeah, I get you, Dodgy. I don't really have a very good display set up at the moment. I should have a little bit more of a... should have a much more reasonable sequence going on here. But I don't. Okay, we're 14 miles. We're 12 for 7. That's 5 to lose. 3 5's 15, and we're at 14. So a little bit, we're a little bit high, but we'll make it work here. I'm just actually going to kill the bug there. Alright, I'm just going to bug up here. We're going to go to nav source 41. Confirm the frequency. Frequency for the ILS is 1117. 1117. And the course 295. But we're still 20 miles out. Oops. Getting a little bit aggressive on the descent there, matey. Over the ground, yeah, we're doing 260 knots. Not picking up the loc just yet. Oops. Helps if you have the airplane in trim. Alright, we're starting to slow down now. I'm gonna try and see if I can see an airporto out there. I think it's just to the right of that lake there, no? Okay. Oh, I had a big old stutter there. Probably as I'm flying over Denver, sorry folks. Well, some of these photogrammetry cities absolutely love a stutter for me. Alrighty. Alright. If we don't see it, we may end up just shooting a bit of a... oops.
We'll keep flying towards the VOR and then maybe joining a circuit once we got the runway.
Alright, getting a little slow and a little high, so why don't we trade some for the other one?
Oops.
I'm just going to keep flying towards the VOR here. Let's get the forward wing and flap out. Speed is checked. Out she goes. Out she goes. Out she goes. Probably a little bit high here. We've got 7-ish miles to run. Oh, yeah, I got the runway. Alright, get out. Alright, approach speed. We're looking good. Pressurization is set. No smoking seatbelts are on. Auto feather. Whoops. Is armed. Landing gear down. Flaps and forward wing as set. Lights coming on. Prop sync is off. A little bit of an aggressive descent here, but I am visual. Prop sync off, radar as required, yaw damper is off. So a little bit on the high side for the right runway. Yeah, the ILS didn't come in. I'll double check that on the ground. I think we might do a little sidestep. Just because I don't want to run down to... I don't want to just dive it down there, become unstable. So we'll just do a little sidestep to the left side. Probably could have salvaged it, but no point risking it. Holy Toledo. Hey, GE, thank you for the 20 pack. Thank you very much. There's blue line, let's keep the speed up. A little bit high still. Thank you so much. Anyway, there you have it. It was a little bit rough, but we made it. I think I know why the ILS didn't show up. I have an idea. Thank you very much for the 20 gifted subs to the community. I really appreciate it. And thanks for dropping in. We'll roll off the runway to the right here somewhere and head off to the ramp where we'll do a little shutdown. I have a feeling that perhaps I've overlooked a an ILS sub mode, and it's not just the VOR mode. Which I think I read about and just completely forgot about. We'll have a look. Quick Rex, thanks for saying thanks. I appreciate it. Alright, let's verify we're clear. Clear. Let's retract our moustache here. Alright. After landing. Let's just clear the runway here. Yep, pitot overheat. I was just trying to get to it, and I just missed out on it. Pitot and static heat, windshield heat, vent and cabin heat. Auto ignition I didn't use. Transponder to standby. Wait a minute, that's the wrong one. It's that one. Standby. Lights are off. Trim 0. They're pretty much 0. And the forward and flap, forward wing and flap are retracted. Checklist complete. And we might go park next to this. No, we'll keep on heading down. Anyway, that was fun, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I have a feeling that I didn't get the ILS because I, for memory, think there might be a... Oops. There might be a... perhaps sub-mode that I missed for memory. I don't remember. Or maybe I put the frequency in wrong. Because it's not showing up here. 1117. It is 1117. And we have 1154 there as well, so... perhaps it was just a nav data thing. How much fuel did we land with? 400? 800. Which is perfect. So that was about 400 pounds more than we calculated we would land with my very, very crappy fuel planning. But I think we did all right. I'm just going to park her up here. And I'm also going to get the avionics blower on. So I think it's going to be quite hot. Alright, next checklist, please. Shutdown and securing. Parking brake is set. Oxygen supply is off. Ice protection for the windshield is off. Windshield heat off. Pilot and co-pilot avionics. Oh. I needed those, but that's okay. I do have a paper checklist for this. Oh, let's take it out of beta, mate. Don't be silly bugger. Alright, performance, after landing, here we go. After landing, parking brake set, standby attitude is fine there. Oxygen supply push off, engine ice protection off, windshield heat off, co-pilot and pilot avionics off, standby indicator off, bleed air valves off, temp mode manual for the time being, just so we don't break anything here. Battery is charged. ITT stabilize at minimum temperature for 1 minute. So I guess that means stabilize where they are. It's sort of been sitting there for a minute, so condition levers to fuel cutoff and then feather. I'm just going to do it this way. Rightio. Oh, there it goes. Alright, so after that, propellers feathered on both. Overhead switches, overhead panel switches all off. ICAS off. Batteries and generators off. Control lock installed, which is over here. Control lock installed. Chocks, gear pins, covers. All right. How do we do? There's not really a whole lot going on there. Okay. For the shutdown. Let's open the door up. I'm just going to turn these fellas off. Okay, I'm going to open this fella up as well, because this is where the chocks are kept. They're checked back here. There we go. And let's jump out the aeroplane. I'm not going to put the engine covers on just yet because I don't want to cause any residual damage to it. But I would say that even though that took us quite a number of hours to do, I would say that was quite a successful flight. And thank you all very much for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed the stream.